This past Saturday, the UFC came to you live all the way from Abu Dhabi in UFC 251, the Fight Island edition. So what happened during that event? We'll give you the breakdown right now. Welcome to Critical Condition. My name is Joe. We're here to talk about sports. So UFC 251 came to you live this past Saturday, and we're going to just go ahead and give it a quick breakdown real quick. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. If you enjoy content like this, feel free to just leave it a like to show your support. So as for the top three fights, first, in the first title fight of the evening, we had Peter Yan take on the legend in Jose Aldo. A lot of people were really questioning this fight just because of the fact that they didn't feel like Jose Aldo was deserving of a title shot. Kind of crazy, but Jose's a vet, and he came in and he gave Peter a fight. Earlier on in the fight, he was given a couple issues with some leg kicks, but again, Peter Yan is just an animal in my opinion. He's an ex-star, and he has arrived now in the 135-pound division. He was able to weather the storm from Jose, and ultimately in the fifth round was able to finish the fight to take home the UFC bantamweight title. Now with this fight, though, what really upset a lot of people was the fact that the reffing was terrible. It was a real bad ending just because of the fact that around 3 minutes and 40 seconds, I was telling my friend that I was watching this fight with that I was wondering why the ref hadn't stopped the fight, and maybe it was just me. But as the fight ended, and it ended about another minute later, Jose Aldo was taking unnecessary damage, and a lot of people seem to agree with me on Twitter. A lot of people's responses were the same. Why didn't the ref stop the fight? I mean, when a fighter is literally turtled up, has his hands over his head, and he's just taking the punches, I mean, at that point, he's just turtling up and looking for a way out. And yeah, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, why doesn't the fighter just tap himself? But you have to understand that these guys aren't going to do that. That's not the route that they want to take. But very clearly, Jose Aldo wanted to finish, wanted that fight to get stopped. He wanted a way out. And, unfortunately, because of the bad reffing, he took a lot of unnecessary damage. But regardless, Peter Gunn is the UFC champion, and I mean, it looks like he's going to be a champ for a while. As far as what's next, I feel like he should definitely defend the title against Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling is a rising contender, and I feel like he should be next in line for a title shot. Definitely not Cody Garbrandt right now. So that's what I see next for Peter. As far as Jose Aldo, he impressed a lot of people because he had a lot of fighting grit in him. So can't wait to see him back in the octagon. For the second title fight of the night, we had Alexander Volkanovski in his first featherweight title defense against none other than Max Blessed Holloway. This is a fight, again, it's a controversial fight just because of the fact that a lot of people had it 3-2 for Max. I had it 3-2 for Max, but I actually did think that the judges were going to give it to Volkanovski, not because it's a championship advantage, but just because of the fact that rounds 1 and 2 were all Max, rounds 4 and 5 were Alexander's. Alexander had a real strong finish in that fifth round, and in that third round, I feel like it was pretty even down the board, and I feel like you could have just given it to whichever one of those fighters. It was a toss-up. I could definitely seen two refs giving it to Alexander, so, I had no real argument with that. It really sucks just because I feel like definitely Max had won that fight, but I can see why the judges went a different way. A lot of people were complaining because, the significant strikes, Max had a slight edge, but people tend to forget that the judges don't have access to that, and they're not seeing that through the screen with, the significant strikes labeled on there. So when I look at a fight, I'm not really basing it off what I see on those screens. I look at it, what I'm viewing, and I feel like maybe that might have been something that triggered people. Unfortunately for Max, I feel like, again, he got screwed over, but he's a vet. He'll be back, and he knows how the business goes. Never leave it in the hands of the judges. That's the famous quote that a lot of people like to say, and it was true here. As far as what's next for Volkanovski, I think that he should take on the winner of Ortega versus Korean Zombie. I definitely want to see those two guys fight it out, and see who's next in line for the title shot. In the main event, we had Game Brain himself, Jorge Masvidal, challenge Kamara Guzman. Now, this is interesting just because of the fact that Jorge Masvidal actually took this fight on 6 days' notice. He had to cut 20 pounds within that time period. It was a huge hurdles, but I was happy that he was able to clear and make the fight. As far as the fight itself, I respect Kamara Usman, and he's such a dominant champion, and he displayed that. It went the way that I thought it would. I felt like Kamara was going to be able to weather the storm. I figured that if George couldn't finish the fight under 2 rounds, I feel like it was just going to pretty much be what we saw, and that was Kamara Usman just take him down, grind him down, and just be able to dominate by positioning. I was very impressed with Jorge Masvidal's takedown defense. He really stood his own, and the guy's just tough, man. Gamebrick's tough. He's gamed, and it sucks because I personally wanted him to win. I feel like a lot of people did as well. It would have been great, but Kamara Usman is just on a whole nother level. He was able to dominate the clinch game, and when he took him down, he was just all over him, and he dominated the positions. So, it's not really surprising. If you're expecting something else or an instant classic fight, I don't think it was really going to be your thing if you were expecting that, and I can see why it pissed a lot of people off. But again, it's going to take a whole different other animal to be able to take down Kamara Usman. I'm very excited to see what's next. As far as for him, I feel like Gilbert Burns should be next in line for a title shot. And as far as Jorge Masvidal, maybe a rematch with Nate or that McGregor fight would be great for him. Definitely like to see him back soon. And I know Gamebrick's going to be back. Kamara Usman, congratulations. Still the UFC welterweight champion. I was really happy to see that. And there you go. That is my review for this past week's UFC event. I'll be looking to be doing some more UFC reviews. And real quick, I'm actually having a giveaway for an Amazon gift card. If you want to enter for that, all you have to do is be a subscriber and comment down on your opinions on the UFC event. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What did you think? What was your favorite moment? Let me know, and I'll be actually extending the giveaway till next week on either Wednesday or Thursday's video. Thanks for listening, guys. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave it a like, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.